Hi guys, it's been a few days since I last recorded an update, but that's natural. I figure that over time I would eventually have less and less to say, or as things become routine, it's just not as exciting to do daily updates. Last Thursday was my last day of class for the week, and I had to move that same day. I was really nervous going into that because I had class the day before and there was this Hungarian crash course over the weekend for 3 hours on Saturday and Sunday that I wanted to do, and then make it to go out to eat for my birthday on Sunday evening. So what ended up happening is I made it to class. Was not too thrilled about having to walk up to the second floor with my bags. I brought most of my stuff because the weather is in this sort of in-between phase, and I left the tank tops behind, but overall I couldn't just say summer or autumn clothes, so I brought both, and it was heavy enough that it was that noticeable weight to carry. Yeah, so I got to class with all of my bags, and after class I had to check the route to see where I was going. I took a different metro from where I normally am, and when I got down there I was like struggling to find the line that I needed and then the entrance to that line. Then I got to actually the train station, which I just realized I've never been to the train station before because the station that I arrived at was the bus station. So not only have I not seen the airport yet, I haven't seen the train station either. Okay, it was cool to at least get a chance to see the train station, but then I couldn't figure out which exit to take, and I seem to have this problem everywhere I go. There's so many exits and I have no idea which one to take, and I have to exit several times before I'm in the right spot because I end up on the wrong side of the street and there's no way to cross the street without going back down and trying another set of stairs, which for me is incredibly frustrating and exhausting. In this case, I was walking around. I eventually found an escalator, and then I went up thinking I was going in the right direction, and of course turns out it was not the right direction. So I had to go back down, but on the second try I did find the right exit, which is actually doing pretty good because one of the days getting to class it took me 4 tries to find the right exit, and that wasn't even my first day. Yeah, and my my current hostess's place is less than a 10-minute walk from that station, so it is pretty central, which is really nice. The apartment itself is pretty nice and new. One thing I've noticed is going to the grocery stores, I think the food, I just went into 2 different stores and the quality of the food looks so much better being like actually in the center instead of the outskirts of the city. Very noticeable difference. So maybe that's a big part of what it comes down to. Yeah, the night I arrived, I had finished the food I made before I left for class, so I ordered food to have delivered here, and at the point when I arrived I was just so exhausted that it took me the longest time to figure out which restaurant I'd ordered from before and what exactly it was I had ordered before, and like I could not focus at all, and I was just like scrolling and like not absorbing any information. Yeah, but finally I ordered my food, and while I was waiting I just felt like I desperately needed a shower and to wash my hair. So I went ahead and did that, which for me is like definitely more than I expected to do that day. The next day I stayed in and rested. I still had some of the delivery food left over, but I was afraid that it would run out during the night and I would get hungry. So I really pushed myself to get up and go to nearby stores. First, I tried to go to this bio store. That was the only reason I left as early as I did, and they closed 20 minutes early. And I was already planning on going to another store after that, but then I realized there was a store right across from the bio store, so I went in to check it out. I did notice the quality of the food looked fine, but the store itself was pretty small and just didn't have that much of a selection. So I stuck with my plan to go to the other store. It was much bigger than I would expect to see in the center of the city, and it had everything I would have wanted. I was still really exhausted from moving the day before. I came back and just finished off the delivery food. It wasn't until the next day that I actually cooked, and that was basically what I did that day, was just prepare the food, and of course that was exhausting and enough for that day. So yeah, that was Friday and Saturday. I ended up deciding not to go to this crash course because, first of all, I've been staying up till about 5 in the morning, and I only would have gotten like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and I just wasn't feeling well. It's one thing to force myself to get up early if I have somewhere I need to be, and it's just about being there. Like if it's traveling, I just have to like get there and sit down. But in this case, not only do I have to get up early with barely any sleep and get there, I have to sit there and focus for 3 hours when I can barely even focus for 30 minutes. So if it took place in the evening, yes, I probably would have at least gone to check it out. I was really interested in giving it a shot, but in the end, I think with my sleep schedule, starting that early in the day is just not ideal. So I passed on that, which I think was a good thing because there's no way I would have felt up to going out to eat after all of that. I would have been totally exhausted. I was already mentally preparing for missing class on Monday if I did do this course. I'll be honest with you guys, I have discovered that you don't have to shower every day, and skipping showers is a really good way to conserve energy. So a lot of times I will shower maybe every other day, and sometimes there will be another day in the middle there. So after I arrived that first night, I showered, and I didn't shower again until 3 days later. Lucky for everyone involved, I didn't stink. I just finally got this deodorant and shampoo that I've been dying to have, which is why I was finally able to wash my hair. But yeah, when I showered on Sunday, it was really draining. Like I felt really out of it after that. I was laying down, trying to rest for the next few hours until I left for the restaurant, and I still didn't feel that great when I left. But when I left to go out, I met up with a few people that I know from different places, and one of them has a friend visiting and wanted to go up to the castle, and it turns out there's a bus that goes up there, which I didn't know. So I'm like, I wasn't gonna go out of my way to go up there, but yeah, if there's a bus, sure. So we did take the bus up there. We didn't have to walk up the hill, but once we were up there, we did do a good amount of walking, and I was really feeling drained long before we left, but it was just a situation where it's my birthday and I don't want to be the one saying I'm going home first, and I don't want to say I'm just gonna sit here and you guys continue on. And it wasn't so bad that anyone else would have picked up on anything, so I just kept going with it and hoped for the best and that I wouldn't be totally crashed today. I am a bit tired right now, but I feel okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna see what I can get done today or this week.